Hello, welcome back to the Bliss feed. I got a haircut, so that's new. What isn't new is that I've been filming in front of this same background for the past 10,000 videos. In today's video, we are going to be talking about habits, specifically the habits that I do on a daily basis. I believe there's 14 of them, so I'm just going to go through them and explain why each one is so important to me that I choose to do it every day. But we're just going to start with the category of habits that I have labeled as yellow. I think you could call these like physical health habits, maybe. So the first one on here is my morning routine. It all starts with this. This habit is probably the easiest for me to keep up with because I literally can't start my day without it. So yes, I don't have to wake up that early and I could be getting more sleep, but my morning routine is just so important to me because it really sets me up to have a good day. This habit kind of actually encompasses a set of habits because it's like stretching and journaling and washing my face and things like that, but I don't feel the need to separate them out because that would just make things complicated. So I group everything under this one big habit that I call morning routine. Okay, I said that it all starts with my morning routine, but actually I think it all starts with this next habit, which is no snoozing. This is probably the hardest habit for me, unfortunately, but I still try to do it because not snoozing your alarm clock helps you to be less drowsy during the day. So like even if you really want an extra minute or two of sleep, it's actually just going to harm you in the long run as the day goes on. But even knowing that does not make it easy to get out of bed right away. So that is one that I'm definitely still working on. Every other day I swish about a tablespoon of coconut oil in my mouth for about 15 minutes or so. This is called oil pulling, and the research on its effectiveness is kind of limited, but it's an ancient practice that's supposed to be good for your oral health. So oil pulling I do every other day, and then the other every other days I drink warm lemon water. I usually go downstairs to make it as soon as I get up, and then I drink it while I'm journaling and stuff. And it's just a good way to like get your body hydrated before the start of the day, and it tastes kind of good. So another habit I've incorporated recently is taking cold showers in the morning. So the only reason that this isn't part of my morning routine habit is because this one's kind of new. So when I'm incorporating new habits, I just make them separate so that I can focus on them specifically. Also, taking cold showers just isn't super pleasant, so having the satisfaction of like checking it off makes it a whole lot easier to do. Around breakfast time, I take my vitamins, which are obviously gummy vitamins because those are basically like candy. And I, unfortunately, cannot swallow pills. I am 18 years old and cannot swallow pills. Finally, in the evening, I once again have a collection of different habits that I do, but I just put it under this big umbrella habit called bedtime routine, and I also have a video on that if you're interested. Alright, so the next category is these ones that I have in green, and I guess you could call this the mental health category. So this encompasses like mindfulness things, stress management, but also like learning new things every day. So the first habit that I have on here is learning Korean, and I'm not going to go super far into this because I have a whole video on that. It's actually my most popular video, and I just checked, it's almost at 15,000 views. I literally don't know why, but thank you, I guess. Thank you for watching that. I also try to study Spanish every day. With this, it's not so much studying as reviewing because basically last year I took AP Spanish, and so this year I could have taken a class at the university in my city. I opted not to do that, but I still wanted to keep the language somewhat fresh in my head. So usually what I do for this daily practice is listening to a podcast in the car or watching a YouTube video where they do practice conversations. Sometimes if I'm up to it, I will try to review some grammar concepts or learn some new vocabulary that I might not know yet. The next habit is something I talk a lot about in my videos, and that's meditation. It's really one of those habits that honestly just like seeps into the rest of your life because the more you do it, the more you notice yourself kind of being able to make better decisions in your daily life, being better at managing your stress, noticing more things. Personally, I like to use the app Insight Timer. Usually I do guided meditations, and I'll link to some of my favorites in the description, but you can also just set a timer and have like background music play if guided meditations aren't your thing. And finally, every night before bed, I like to read for 15 minutes, although by the end of the month, which is when I'm filming this, it usually becomes more intense than that because I'm frantically trying to finish my book of the month. But yeah, 15 minutes every night. If it weren't for this, I probably literally would not read at all, except for school. So this is just a really like easy and non-intimidating way to make sure that I'm still constantly reading and absorbing new knowledge. Okay, so I was not sure what to call this final category because we had physical health, mental health. I think I'm going to call it technological/organizational health. This will make more sense once I tell you what's in the category. So the first daily habit that I have in here is recording a 1 second a day video clip. So the 1 second a day app, it's pretty self-explanatory. You take a 1 second video clip every day and then you just kind of stitch it together and you have this really cool condensed version of your life. I've tried to do this other years, but I think this is the year that I'm having most success with it, and I think that's because I accepted that I was gonna forget to do it so many days, but at the same time, like, it's much better to do it 200 out of 365 days instead of doing it for like 30 days and then giving up for the rest of the year. So I have missed a lot of days already, but I was actually just recently watching through it and I was like, I'm really glad that I kept up with it even after missing like a week in a row. The next habit in this category is my daily blog tasks. So this mainly, I would say, just involves doing Instagram things, posting a photo, replying to comments, and commenting on other people's photos. So I've mentioned in previous videos that social media just like doesn't really come super naturally to me, so I find that the only way I can really stay engaged on it is if I make it into a routine. I worry sometimes that my life might come across as too like routine and regimented in my videos, but I think it seems more like that than it actually is. My entire life isn't composed of routines. It's really just the things that are kind of simple and easy and things that I want to automate. There are plenty parts of my life where I'm unorganized and spontaneous, and I think it's good to have a balance of those two. And then last habit is called Inbox Zero. Inbox Zero just means that by the end of each day, I try to have responded to all emails and messages. Sometimes I'm too tired to like formulate a response, so at the very least I will read it and then worry about dealing with it the next day. But I'm the type of person who can really procrastinate on responding to things, even though it weighs so heavily when I know that there's something I need to respond to. I'm very good at just ignoring it and pushing it away and away. So just having this habit on my list of things to do really helps me just get everything done by the end of the day. So that's it, 14 daily habits. I didn't actually know that it was 14 before I did this video. I've never sat down to count them. I think one important thing to point out is that I didn't just like one day wake up and be like, I need a set of daily habits to improve my life and write out this list of 14 things and then just do them from there on out. I started with a small list and practiced with that until I got the hang of it. And then ever since then, the list has been constantly changing. So I've been adding new habits like the cold shower thing that I mentioned. I've been taking away habits. I can't think of any examples of that off the top of my head, but I've definitely taken a lot of things off that list. It's just like as your life changes, the kind of habits that will be useful to you will also change. So start small and be open to change. Another thing is, do I do all of these every single day? No, I do not. I actually haven't had a quote-unquote perfect day in a while, and probably that's mainly because I can't get out of bed in the morning, but I just want to emphasize that the point of this is not to be perfect. The point of this is to get better. So just like I mentioned with the 1 second a day video clips, I don't do them every single day, but I do them most days, and that's better than not doing it any days. And I think that's how it is with every single habit. If there's some sort of healthy habit you want to do, don't worry about the fact that you won't be able to do it every single day. Sorry, voice crack. Don't worry about that. If you can do it 50% of the time, you are doing 50% better than you were before you started it. If you chase perfection, you often catch excellence. And one last thing before I leave, I just want to share this app that I use for habit tracking. I've been probably using this for years now. It's the simplest one that I've been able to find, and I just think it works so well. It's called Productive Habits, and you basically just add any habit you want, and then you can set the symbol, the color, and the frequency of how often you want to do it. Also, you can choose what time of day you want to do it, which really helps because a lot of my habits are like morning and evening habits specifically. When you do a habit, you just swipe and it makes this really satisfying sound. If you swipe the other way, it skips it, so it doesn't break your streak, but it also doesn't mark it as done, which is really helpful for like if you go on a trip or something and you just can't do some of your habits. The only complaint that I have about this app is that you can't set certain frequencies. So like you can schedule habits to be done, for example, every week, every month, every 2 weeks, but you can't set it to be done every 3 weeks, which I know sounds really specific, but I've actually needed that. But other than that, I think it's about as close to perfect as apps can get. There is a free version and a premium version, so you can try the free version and see if you like it. Maybe the free version is even enough for you and you don't need the premium version. So that's the one that I use, but honestly there are plenty of habit tracking apps out there. So just download a couple, see which one works with your lifestyle, and get going on those habits. That's all for this video. Let me know if any of these daily habits are things that you also do every day, or let me know if there's something on your list that isn't on mine. If you enjoyed the video, please also don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the Bliss Bean. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye!